All right, for this session, we're going to talk about 1X and logging in and the basics and making calls. When this pops up when you're logging in, you simply hit OK. The station login portion that pops up as well. You do not ever have to enter in your agent number, your password. We have that already saved in the settings, and so it's not something you ever have to do. So you simply hit login. You're going to hear 3 beeps. That lets you know that you're logged in. Now, sometimes this can take a while. If this does take a while, we say not to let it go longer than a minute or so. And if that's the case, you need to task manager, which is Control-Alt-Delete task manager. And then you would end the task for 1X and then reopen it. We ask that you do that at least 5 times before calling MOD or reaching out. Not sure why. We've never really gotten an answer as to why that's the magic number, but we have found been doing this for about 4 years now that that's the magic number that works. So if you've tried 5 times and you still can't get it, then you definitely want to reach out to one of your supervisors or your MOD. So I'm going to show you some basics with the 1X screen. It just disappeared on me. Here we go. We call this the main screen here. And then this over here, of course, is your dial pad. Some associates choose to not use it and some do. When you first pull it up, it's going to have you in a aux 0 state. So to change your state, this is where you go. You can go to your aux buttons here. You have all of your 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and whatever that you use. Break, meal, coaching, training. So we're going to go ahead and go into training just to show you. It tells you up here what aux code you were in, and it starts an active counter for you so you can see how long you're in that specific aux. When you're ready to go into queue, you simply hit ready. This turns green. This lets you know that you are in queue ready to take a call. You will still get calls just like you do on site with the whisper and everything. It is set up for auto answer. And we ask that you not change that here at all, because then some phone calls have been missed from our customers. So we always leave this on auto accept. This is how you mute. When it's highlighted, it's muted. When it's not muted. We have our address book down here below. It's called the contact list. Everything in 1X, when you hover over it, it'll tell you what it does. So this is our contact list. We recommend storing numbers down here that you use often. You'll see when we do the blind transferring calls and the conferencing calls here in a minute, how easy it is to already have the numbers here. But just in case you don't, this is how you would add a number. You hit add contact. Nothing goes in the first name blank. Everything goes in the last name blank. So you put your name there, and then the number you just put in the work space. You do not need to add a 91, just the area code and the number, and then simply hit OK. And then if I want to call that number, all I simply do is hit click to call. You'll notice that it automatically puts in the 91 for us, so we don't have to worry about that. Excuse me, when you're on an active call, it's white. If you want to if you want to place the call on hold, you simply use this button here. To unhold, you hit that again. You don't ever use this transfer call, and more importantly, you don't ever use this end call button. If you do hit the end call button, it's going to spin and spin and spin and spin, sometimes up to 2 minutes, and it will not end your call, thereby not sending your customer to the survey. So instead, we always use the release button up here. And as you can see, it ends that call right away. We have all of the systems set up to do automatic after call. But sometimes, for an unknown reason, 1X will kick you out of that. If that does happen, you notice you're getting back-to-back calls while you're on the call, you simply hit this after call button up here. It lets you know that you are in pending after call work. This turns red and green. And then when we release the call, it places you in after call work and starts a timer for you. So you can see how long you've been in after call work. Now, when you manually put yourself in after call like this, you do have to be aware and go back in the queue when you're done with your notes or whatever it is that you're doing. So one thing that we ask that you be aware of. We do have the dial pad over here. Like I said, most associates use their keyboard when they're dialing out. If you don't have a number saved down here, the way that you make a call is you come to the work options buttons here, which is next to the magnifying glass. You click that. You always tell 1X what you want it to do first. So I'm telling 1X I want it to initiate a call. In other words, make a call. So I'm going to put in my number. Again, I'm just using my keyboard. You can't come over here and do it this way, but it takes longer. I do not have to put in a 9-1. I can simply hit enter, or I can hit the phone button, which is initiate call, and then it's going to make your call for you. Okay, so that's the way you can make calls down here with your address books, with your contacts you have down here, and then you can also make calls here, but just remember you always have to tell 1X what you're doing first. You also have little buttons over here that open up a line for you. The only difference is when you use this, you're going to hear the dial tone. You have to hit 9-1 to get an outside line.
Your call has been.
So again, when you're using these two down here, you do not have to use 9-1 on the main screen, but when you use the dial pad over here, you do have to hit that 9-1. Those are the basics for 1X. We're going to practice now. I have somebody else here in the video with me. They are going to be calling me, and then I'm going to show you. I will send this document or have this available to everybody as well. It takes you through the step-by-step of the blind transferring the calls and the conferencing the calls. So Aaron's going to go ahead and give me a call, my extension. So your call comes in automatically. You will hear the whisper like I stated earlier. You're gonna, so over here I'm going through the steps. You're gonna go to your work options and you're gonna select transfer call. Now this is a good thing to show you right here. This is part of the troubleshooting you have to do with 1X. Sometimes this transfer call does not pop up. If it's not available, all you do usually is hold the call, come back, and now transfer calls available. Of course, if you were on with the customer, you would tell them before you place it on hold so they know what's going on. But you're going to come down here again to the work options button, hit transfer call. I'm going to manually type in the number this time. Again, I can hit enter or use the phone with the arrow, and boom, the call's automatically transferred. Okay? Now, if Aaron can call me again, then I'm going to show you how to do it using blind transfer your call using the address book. All right, so Aaron's going to call me again. Thank you. Automatically answers. I'm going to transfer the call, so I'm still telling it what to do first. And then I come down here and I click on, we're going to call Carter. Click to call, and it's transferred. Blind transfer, that's it. That's the two ways to do your blind transfer. All right, then the other we have is the conference call. So Aaron's going to give me a call again. There's two different things I want to show you with this. Call comes in and you're talking to your customer. You realize you need to reach out to Samsung or an ISP or a Lowe's store. So you're going to come again down to the work options button. In your mind, you're thinking that you're going to conference, but you don't ever use this conference button here. You're always initiating the call because you're calling that third party. So we're telling 1X what to do. So we're going to initiate that call. I'm going to manually type in the number this time. Hit the phone. Watch what happens to the first customer, the first caller. They're automatically placed on hold. Your third party answers. And now this is grayed out because they're placed on hold with a timer to let you know. You're talking to your third party, your store, whoever it is. Let's say that we need to place our store on hold because they have a question for the customer that we're going to go ask. So we're going to place the store on hold. Simply come back up here, talk to our customer, get the answer. Thank you so much. Place them back on hold and come back down here. And now we need to bring the two callers together. We simply come up here to the phone with the two little dudes. You're going to click on that. You always, always, always click on the first name in the drop down. Sometimes it'll say the name, sometimes it'll say the number, sometimes it'll say something funky like Agent 149. We're not sure why, but we do know that it's always the first name in this dropdown. So you click this, the two parties are brought together, you make your introductions, you do whatever that you need to do, and then you release. And that is how you conference a call, manually entering in the number. So Aaron's going to call me again, and I'll show you how to do it using your dial pad. I'm sorry, your contacts. Okay, call comes in. We're going to reach out. So we're telling 1X what to do. We're going to initiate that call. And we're going to call Carter. This one's put on hold. This one answers. And now we're talking to the third party, and we need to conference them together. Come up here, click on the first one. They're brought together, and we release. So those are the two types of calls that you'll be making in 1X. The last thing that I want to be sure that you understand that you do at the end of your shift, you always need to log out, release, and then exit application every time. If you don't, you're going to cause issues for yourself. The next morning when you go to open up 1X, it causes all kinds of issues. So you log out, release that call, and then exit application. And that's how you use 1X. Thank you. I hope you all have a good day.